Hi y'all, I'm Chase. This is my 2021 Harley-Davidson Pan America. Oh, an older Beamer. Is that a K75? That's a 3-banger motor, but it's like turned on its side. It's a weird little bike, but apparently they run forever. Anyways, this is my 2021 Pan America Special, affectionately known as Wichita. And today is, well, we're going to talk about, I was wrong about ADVs, ADV Bikes. Yeah, I was, at least when they first, I first started noticing them. This would be like back in like 2010. I didn't see the point. I mean, you could just buy a specialized bike, and that's kind of what I did. I had my Aprilia Shiver and my Sportster 883 at the same time. So I had a sport naked or sporty kind of naked bike. And I also had my Sportster, which was, well, you know, pretty much just a cruiser. And at the time I thought that was great. And I remember looking at some ADV bikes and thinking, God, those look stupid. My mind still hasn't changed on that. The whole bird beak thing is really stupid. That being said, that was really, I just didn't understand the idea. Just buy a second bike. You probably can get 2 bikes for the price of what an ADV would cost. And honestly, that's what I did. So, but as time wore on, like most things, well, seeing what ADVs were capable of, that kind of changed my mind. Again, not about the bird beak stuff. That just looks stupid. Seriously, stop that. It just looks dumb. It's ugly. It's atrocious and hideous. Probably the reason why I like that Touareg and the Aprilia and the, I also like the Yamaha Tenere, and why I like Wichita here. So, but what about it changed my mind? Well, what actually changed my mind about ADVs? Well, going up my road was a big factor because, you know, I'm a tough, masculine man. No fear. But in reality, I'm just a guy, and I don't fear death. I know that seems strange to say because every animal feels death. Well, if you live the life that I did, you kind of stop fearing it after a while, and sometimes even, you know, thirst for it. I don't thirst for it, but some people do, I guess. But it's not really the fear of death, because if you're dead, your troubles are over. But you know what really caused a lot of trouble? Pain. Being disabled. Severe pain from being disabled. Yeah, that's what scares me. That's what I fear. And that's what made me reconsider. And I think I said this in my previous video leading up to buying Wichita here, or trading in my beloved Alice for Wichita here. I had one up our butt-puckering, dangerous road. Yeah, that gravel is terrifying on the edges, and I had to get very far, pretty far over to the edge. And yeah, it was kind of terrifying because I met a car coming the other way, and I was able to modulate the throttle right, and I did everything I could, and I made it out safe. I didn't get into a wreck. I know if I'd have gotten into a wreck, it only would have been about 40 to, you know, 35 miles an hour, but into a ditch. What would happen most likely when you go into a ditch is you're on touring models, the crash bars kind of stick out. That's going to dig in because you're going to bottom out, and you know what's going to happen then. The bike is going to come to a very, very sudden stop. And it's not the fall that hurts you, it's the sudden stop. Just like jumping off of buildings. I mean, you guys could have a heart attack, but not me. I'm not likely to have a heart attack. But the sudden stop is likely to hurt you pretty bad. you notice on this bike and just about every ADV, they don't have the bars that stick straight out, because when you're laying a bike down, if you're off-road, you don't want to dig into the dirt. A slide is preferable. I know that sounds insane, but a sudden stop is more likely to break bones. Slide is more likely to, I don't know, burn a little bit of skin off you. I mean, even if you're wearing the proper gear, which, you know, my motorcycle accident I was wearing leathers and, you know, riding boots and helmet and everything. I still got road rash, but it was from the inside of the clothing. So either way, you're gonna feel some pain, but a slide is preferable. Sudden stop, not so much. So going up that road and meeting that car, I had recently ridden a Pan America. I was very, very impressed with it. Honestly, I couldn't believe how good it was. And I didn't get to take it on a gravel road, but I had talked to a guy that owns a Pan America, and he actually uses it to, he has cattle. He'll actually ride the damn thing around in slick grass and tall grass and use it to herd his cattle. And he said he's taken out in the wet, you know, in wet, nasty grass, long, wet, nasty grass, and that stuff, it gets tangled up and everything. Not just tangled up, but if you've ever ridden in wet grass, it's a good way to drop a vehicle. Very little traction to be had. So I figured if it'll do that in wet grass, you know, a little bit of loose gravel probably wouldn't hurt, and I was right. You know, I get that they're not the prettiest bikes. Honestly, if I have to pick between a pretty bike, or if I have to pick between a Pan America and like my Road King Alice, Alice is the prettier bike. I'm sorry, it's like jewelry. I mean, you're looking at something dumb like a cobalt wedding band versus, you know, diamond encrusted emeralds or something. It's a diamond encrusted emerald wedding band or something. It's or engagement ring. Those two things are very, very different. One is all about, you know, they're both about letting someone know that you're married, letting other people know that you're married. But one is about going, hey, look at this. Granted, it's functional, it is still a wedding band, but it's also, hey, look at this. An ADV is the Cobalt wedding band, if you didn't get that. It's functional, it does a job, but it's not going to be something that's pretty. It's not attention grabbing. That's because that's not what its job is. Its job is to be functional. And honestly, that's exactly what an ADV bike is. It's functional. And honestly, it's not just functional. It can do everything that your bagger can do. After much thought before trading in Alice, I thought, okay, well, what am I going to lose by trading in Alice? The bling. That bling factor. That attention-grabbing factor. That's it. That's not much to lose. I mean, if I was a woman, I kind of get that, where they, you know, they want to be pretty and they want to grab attention. But I'm a dude. I don't need to grab attention that much. I mean, I know I'm good looking, but yeah, I know. Yeah, seriously, no, I know. But anyways, well, okay, I'm okay looking, let's say. So people don't look at me and go, my God, crawl back out of the hole that you came out of. Go back to hell, you demon. So I don't need the bling. I need something that's functional because of, well, where I live. So this bike makes a lot more sense. And it will also do everything a bagger does. And I hate to say this, guys. Keep it on the low. Don't let a lot of people know. I don't want a bunch of other people getting on Pan Americas and making content. But unless you're looking for the bling, shh. The ADVs are better bikes. They can carry just as much stuff. They can go off-road. And yeah, see how that is? It already comes with lowers. It's liquid cooled. It's not likely to overheat. Yeah. Shh. Don't tell anyone though. But yeah. These bikes, and I'm not saying you have to get a Harley-Davidson Pan America either. You know, all the other bikes you're going to have to do valve maintenance, valve adjustment maintenance, or valve check maintenance on. Yeah, you don't have to do that on this. Now, granted, there are some little gremlins that are still seem to be being worked out on the earlier models like Wichita here. But it seems that Harley-Davidson is taking care of that when and if they happen. There's the stators that were poorly manufactured. Usually they fly apart at this point. If you notice, you'll notice something is wrong because that little battery symbol there, yeah, if it's not reading 14.1, 14.2, something is wrong. Your stator has probably started to lose magnets, I guess. The other problem is the fuel pumps. Seems they have a slight, I don't know, they kind of burn out quick. I'm not sure why. I'm guessing because these were being made during the pandemic, I'm guessing it was a supply chain issue problem, so they had to go with a less than reputable manufacturer, or a manufacturer that wasn't less than reputable, but they weren't used to the certain specs that needed to be met. I'm not an engineer. I don't know how these things work. And let's see, the other issue was, oh, well, that one. The exhaust header being too close to the return hose on the radiator, which I've remedied myself. Harley-Davidson can remedy it with a, they could remedy it with a silicone hose, I think, but they also remedy it with a new hose, which I think gives you a little bit less, or a little bit, there's a little bit more clearance. There's also another radiator that I've heard. I've never seen it. I don't know how it works. And there was also some guys with some automatic ride height problems, but that hasn't seemed to have been a problem on mine. So, I mean, there's some little gremlins and stuff that, but really, I think I've went over this stuff in a previous video. It's not like this is like damning things that, oh God, these are not fixable things. So, oh, one more. The cam chain tensioner. It looks like some guys are having problems with that, some guys aren't. Might have been some bad castings or moldings. I don't know how that works. I think it's castings. But yeah. But that's on the Pan America. Now, every bike has little issues. So, I mean, it's not like, you know, the M8s aren't without issues. I've seen guys do big bore kits and smoke their engines out in a few thousand miles. Even after they've upgraded the fuel pumps, or not the fuel pumps, but the oil pumps. Sometimes shit just happens, guys. So, but there are a lot of pluses to an ADV that most guys don't realize, and I know it's really hard to just, I wouldn't call them pretty bikes. I like the way this looks, and I know it's weird to say that because a lot of people don't or didn't like the way it looks. But when I first seen it, I thought, man, that's ugly. But like, you know, it's the weirdest thing. Like the Softail Fat Bob. I hated the way that looked when it first came out. I mean, first impression, look at it, God, that looks ugly. About a month later, I looked at it, damn, that kind of looks cool. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I guess. But I will say that, no, the Pan Am does not look as good as a bagger with shiny chrome. I'm sorry, there's nothing that beats that. I'm sorry, nothing on this planet. The only thing I will say that is equal is, I'm sorry, but I am a Italian bike, let's just call it enthusiast lover. I love the way that the Ducati and Aprilia sport bikes look. They are beautiful. Italian design, to me, there's just something to it. It might not be reliable. Well, I can't say that many bikes are these days. I mean, they even had problems with Honda recently, so it's not like every bike is ultra reliable. So I can't say that every bike is great, or a certain manufacturer is better than another. So, but I guess that's going to be all, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Have you maybe thought differently of ADV bikes, or maybe you still hate them and think they are ugly as sin and you will never ever even take one for a ride. Also, like and subscribe. That's in case if you want to. It's not a command. Any comments you do leave, or any questions you ask, I try to answer them as best I can. I read every single comment and question. You will know that I do this. I will heart it. You will know I will give you a thumbs up. I appreciate every comment. Stay stubborn. Stay out riding, guys. Bye, y'all.